Welcome to the AI Brief, episode 163. I'm Amine.
And I'm Liya. And today, our mission is really to unpack some of the most significant AI developments happening right now.
Yeah, we've got some really interesting stories to dig into. We'll be looking at a big lawsuit, Reddit versus Anthropic, which kind of touches on data, competition.
All the big themes. Then there's new stuff from ChatGPT connecting directly into your workplace apps, even reporting meetings.
Plus how major studios are actually using AI in production now. And we'll quickly cover some new tools for developers, some cutting-edge research glasses from Meta, and a few other AI updates from the week.
It's definitely a packed agenda, so let's just jump right in.
Okay, first up, this legal challenge. It feels like we talk about these a lot in AI lately, but this one's kind of different. It's a major tech platform, Reddit, suing the AI startup, Anthropic.
That's right. And what Reddit is basically saying is that Anthropic illegally scraped just a huge amount of their content, posts, comments, everything, to train its AI models, specifically Claude.
And they did this without permission or payment.
Exactly. No permission, no payment. It gets right to the core of this whole data rights debate that just keeps popping up.
And the details Reddit provides are, well, pretty eye-opening. They allege Anthropic's bots hit their servers over 100,000 times.
Over 100,000. And what's really striking is Reddit claims this kept happening even after Anthropic apparently told them they were blocked from the site.
Wow. And Reddit says they tried to work this out first.
Seems so. They apparently tried to negotiate a licensing deal, like the ones Reddit already has with OpenAI and Google, where the AI company pays to use the data for training.
But Anthropic said no.
Declined the offer, according to Reddit. And Reddit is saying, look, we think they used our data anyway.
Do they have proof?
Well, they allege Anthropic has admitted before to training on Reddit content, and they point to times where Claude, Anthropic's AI, actually referenced stuff from specific subreddits.
Okay, so what does Reddit want out of this lawsuit?
Money, for one. Compensatory damages for the unauthorized use. And they want a court order, an injunction.
To stop Anthropic from using any Reddit-derived content going forward.
Precisely. Now, what makes this really fascinating, beyond just the data scraping angle, is the timing and maybe the underlying dynamics.
You mean why Reddit is doing this now? Against Anthropic specifically?
Yeah. I mean, we see AI labs getting sued by individuals, artists, authors, but this is one of the first times a really big tech platform is going after an AI company like this over training data.
And there might be more to it.
Potentially. If you look at the players, Sam Altman, OpenAI CEO, owns almost 9% of Reddit, and Anthropic recently took some actions affecting a company OpenAI just acquired.
Ah, okay. So you're suggesting this might not just be about Reddit protecting its data. Could it be like a proxy fight?
Yeah. It definitely raises that question, doesn't it? A kind of strategic move in the bigger competition between these AI giants, OpenAI and Anthropic.
Interesting. It's a major platform drawing a line in the sand.
Mm.
And it could really influence how other platforms think about, protecting and maybe selling access to their data for AI training.
For sure. And for you listening, this whole battle could set precedents for how the conversations and info you share online end up being used by these AI models down the road.
Absolutely. Okay, so from courtrooms to your actual work desk, OpenAI just announced a bunch of new business features for ChatGPT.
Yeah, they're really pushing to get it more embedded in how people work day to day, not just a separate tool you dip into.
So what's new?
The big headline is direct connections to cloud services. Think Google Drive, Dropbox, SharePoint.
Meaning you can pull your own documents and data right into ChatGPT more easily. No more uploading files one by one.
Exactly. Much smoother integration. And then there's this other feature, they're calling it record mode.
Record mode, what does that do?
The idea is you can use it to capture, say, a meeting or even just voice notes. It transcribes it.
Okay.
And then it can extract the key points, maybe even generate action items or a summary from that recording.
Wow, okay. That sounds potentially very useful, but also maybe raises some questions.
Definitely. And for bigger companies, the enterprise users, they're adding custom connectors for things like Outlook and Teams, so businesses can really tailor the integration.
And it seems like businesses are buying in.
It looks that way. OpenAI mentioned they now have 3 million paying business users across their different plans: enterprise, team, education.
3 million. That's up from 2 million just back in February. That's fast growth.
It really is. So what this all means for, someone actually using this stuff, it's about connecting your vital data, your documents directly to these powerful models much more easily.
Less friction. more seamless integration.
Right. And it also suggests OpenAI is maybe building more than just a chatbot. It's starting to look a bit like its own integrated workspace layer, potentially competing with the other software tools you
Like
use.
a central hub for processing information.
Could be heading that way. And that record mode feature especially, capturing and analyzing spoken words like that, it could really change how teams document things or brainstorm. Huge potential time saver.
Yeah, powerful stuff. Okay, let's shift gears completely now. Let's talk about Hollywood and the creative industries. AMC Networks, The Walking Dead, Mad Men just announced a big partnership.
They're partnering with the AI startup Runway.
Runway, okay. What's the goal there?
It's all about bringing generative AI into AMC's own marketing and, interestingly, their production processes.
How would they use it in production?
For things like pre-visualization during show development, so getting quick visual concepts for scenes or sequences early on, and also for generating promotional materials like trailers or posters.
So potentially creating marketing stuff without needing like a full physical shoot
Mhm.
or testing visual ideas much faster.
That seems to be the idea, streamlining workflows, testing concepts earlier. Runway sees this as part of a bigger shift in media, changing how things are made, how quickly, even how they're distributed.
And AMC isn't alone in looking at this, right? Runway is working with others.
Yeah, they're also working with Lionsgate, and Lionsgate execs have talked about using AI for things like creating animated versions of films or maybe adjust content for different ratings.
Now, AI in Hollywood.
Yeah.
That's been pretty controversial, hasn't it? Lots of concerns about jobs, creative control, especially during the strikes last year.
Definitely a polarizing topic, but what this AMC partnership shows, I think, is that despite the public debate, the tech is quietly being implemented.
So this public announcement by a major network like AMC, it feels like a signal.
It could be a sign that maybe some studios are ready to start openly embracing and, normalizing these AI tools as part of how they operate.
Interesting. It's trying to find that balance, I guess, using the tech while addressing the real concerns from creators. For you watching at home, this could mean AI-generated bits popping up in show marketing or maybe influencing the look of shows much earlier in the process.
Okay, let's switch over to the developer side of things. There's a new tool from Mistral, the French AI startup that's been getting a lot of buzz.
Mistral, right. What have they launched?
It's called Mistral Code, and they're positioning it as a platform to help developers get 10x productivity is the phrase they used.
10 times productivity. That's a bold claim. So it's a coding assistant.
It seems to bring together their existing coding tools and models into one place. They're saying it offers more customization and also better security and compliance features than, say, GitHub Copilot or Cursor.
So it's Mistral's attempt to be the main AI tool specifically for developers, helping them code faster, but within company rules.
That seems to be the play, supercharging coding efficiency for the enterprise crowd.
All right, and sticking with AI interaction, but moving towards hardware. Meta shared more about their experimental smart glasses, the Area Gen 2.
Yeah, these aren't for sale. They're purely research devices for now, but what they can do is pretty advanced.
Like what? What makes them special?
Well, for starters, really precise eye tracking. It can detect blinks, find the exact center of your pupil and cornea. It knows where you're looking and how your attention shifts.
Okay, why is that useful?
Huge for developing future interactive apps where the AI can actually understand your focus, what you're paying attention to.
Makes sense. What else?
Sophisticated AI hand tracking, too. It understands your hand movements in 3D space.
Yeah.
That's valuable for, say, teaching dexterity to humanoid robots.
Wow. And other sensors.
Yeah, they know if you're inside or outside, can detect heart rate, even hear speech clearly in noisy places. It all creates this really rich picture of your context and state for researchers.
Okay, so stepping back, AI software has advanced incredibly fast, but maybe our current ways of interacting, phones, laptops, aren't the best fit for these future AIs.
That seems to be the thinking. We might need something more seamless, more integrated with our perception.
And Meta already has the Ray-Ban smart glasses out there for consumers.
Right, but these Area Gen 2 glasses with all these advanced sensors focused on gaze, movement, context, they feel like a real glimpse into what future AI hardware could be, integrating AI directly into how we see and interact with the world.
So the AI isn't just on a screen, it's potentially part of your experience, understanding your surroundings, maybe even your physical state.
Exactly, it's moving in that direction, which, raises all sorts of fascinating questions about how that changes daily life.
It certainly does. Okay, we hit the biggest stories, but as always, there's a lot more bubbling up in AI. Let's do a quick roundup of some other interesting updates from the week.
Sounds good. One quick note that ties back to the OpenAI Anthropic rivalry we mentioned.
Oh, yeah.
The CEO of Windsurf, that's the company OpenAI just bought, said that Anthropic is apparently restricting their access now to the Claude models. Just another little sign of that competition.
Interesting. And Anthropic is also launching its own content.
Yeah, a new blog called Claude Explains, actually written by their AI, Claude. It's aimed at developers, providing educational stuff.
Okay. What about creative AI tools?
Luma Labs put out something called Modify Video. Lets you take a video and basically restyle it, change the look, the characters, the setting, using AI.
And Suno, the AI music platform.
They push out a bunch of updates. An upgraded song editor, stem extraction so you can get individual instrument tracks, creative sliders, and you can now upload songs up to 8 minutes long.
Any news on the business impact front?
There was a report from Speech Metrics highlighting some stats. Companies using speech-based AI are seeing around a 400% jump in user adoption for those apps and cutting transcription time by 50–60%. Real numbers there.
And the chip wars continue. NVIDIA.
Still dominating. Their new Blackwell platform just crushed the latest ML-perf of benchmarks. About 2.2 times faster than their last gen and way ahead of AMD's latest chip. That power matters hugely for training bigger models.
Finally, any big funding news?
Cohere, another one of the big AI players founded by ex-Google folks, is reportedly looking to raise another $500 million.
Wow. What kind of valuation are they talking?
Could put them somewhere between $5 billion and $6.5 billion. So yeah, investors are still writing very big checks for the leaders in this space.
Absolutely. The pace is just relentless. Okay, before we wrap, let's quickly mention a few specific AI tools that seem to be trending or getting noticed right now.
Sure, for developers, OpenAI's Codex agent now has internet access, making it more powerful for coding tasks.
For video editing, particularly with AI avatars, HeyGen AI Studio seems popular, offering fine-tuned control.
Manus Video Generation is another video tool focused on agentic planning to create detailed videos.
Avatar FX, from Character, has tech to take a still image and basically bring it to life as video.
Need a website without code? Tilda is an AI tool trending for that.
PicBolt helps turn plain screenshots into something more visually appealing.
Missio aims to connect your different tools and automate workflows, kind of like an AI assistant for team productivity.
Slides lets you create presentations using AI right inside Google Slides.
And Add Subtitle uses AI to add subtitles to videos in over 100 languages, a practical tool.
So yeah, quite a range just this week. From these huge legal fights over data to AI getting woven directly into work documents and maybe even meetings.
To Hollywood figuring out AI in production and glimpses of future hardware that understands our gaze and movement, it's all happening at once.
These really are significant shifts. It's about who owns the data, how we interact with information using these new tools, how devices might understand us physically. It's reshaping privacy, work, creativity.
Definitely. So maybe something to think about this week is, how does all this convergence, the legal battles over data, the AI in your work files and potentially conversations, the hardware that senses your attention, how does that fundamentally change your personal relationship with data, with privacy, with technology itself in the next few years?
It's not just abstract news. It's actively shaping the digital world that you personally live in.
We really hope this deep dive gave you some useful context on the latest in AI. Please follow the AI Brief to keep getting these focused updates.
And if you found this useful, please do share it with a friend or colleague who you think might find it valuable too. Thanks for tuning in.